So when I was growing up, we used to spend a lot of time at Ushago with our grandparents, and my shosho from my mother's side used to have honey. She used to have bees, and she would go and harvest it, and we would eat, literally eat. So for me, I grew up knowing honey is for eating, not drinking. So when you go to the supermarket and they're putting it a tipo on a spoon, I'm like, oh, I don't know that honey. So honestly, this Eva's homemade honey reminded me of my grandmom's honey. My name is Judy Washoi Makori. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of three big boys. I'm a writer. That's how I earn my living. And I'm also an editor. I've worked in the media space, but right now as an NGO, I enjoy creative writing. So that's what I do. So Eva Homemade Honey, I happen to know the Eva behind that name because we go to church together. She's a friend of mine. We once served in the worship team together. So when she started advertising it in social media, I was curious. So the first time I bought it actually was just to promote my friend's business. I could tell that it was not sweetened using artificial sweeteners. It was just the natural honey the way it was. So I loved that, and the taste was unique. So in our house, we use honey 3 ways. 1, applying it on bread, 2, drinking it with tea, and 3, as medicinal. But for me, I really loved it for the medicinal aspect of it. The fact that when I'm having issues with my throat, having issues with breathing, because I tend to have bronchial asthma, which is allergy related. So I block. And when I block, one of the things I like to do before I have to use the inhaler is I try to do natural remedies. So honey is one of those natural remedies. And I loved the homemade honey, Eva's homemade honey, because it worked. It worked so well. I couldn't believe it. So those are the 3 main ways that we use it. All right, so when this whole COVID story started, unfortunately, my husband and I, we got it. And at that time, we were researching everything, anything. Yani, if you're told cover yourself and inhale leaves, that's what you do. So in the process of doing our research, I don't know whether it was me or it was Mark, my husband, but we read somewhere that when you take garlic and cut it and chop it and then put it in honey, and let it sit, and then you take a teaspoon of that every day, it's helping. So we're like, what do we have to lose? So we did that. So not only were we taking Eva's homemade honey on its own, we now put that concoction, and it really worked. I think even my husband can testify. It worked, but now it's a remedy in our house. First and foremost, I just want to say, I know Eva, so I know she's not cutting corners. She's giving you the real thing. So if you're looking for someone that will supply you with the genuine stuff, try Eva Homemade Honey. And then it is good for you. So it's not just about promoting business. It's good for you. For it worked for me, who has issues with breathing issues, because like I said, I'm allergic and sometimes I get those difficulties breathing. If you're having a cold, it's good for babies also. There are many reasons to use Eva's homemade honey, but the main one is that it's genuine. It's a real thing.
To order now, call 0729 846 989. It is free delivery within Nairobi.